So welcome to our inversion class today. Because we're running a little bit later than normal, we're just going to go right into this. So inversion, while I'm sharing my screen here, is basically saying the same thing, but just in a different order, okay? So should be this one. And I'll go ahead. All right, so everyone should be able to see this. It says, what is inversion? Okay, so this is from the Intengo website. So it's perfect for today then. It says it's a changed order of things. So there's two types. And so what we can do is a subject-verb inversion. So for example, new word order becomes verb plus subject. All right, so here we go. The example is, on the clouds floated an angel dressed in white gold. So now, why do we use it like this? Okay, it's a common literary technique used to give emphasis to the sentence and to make it sound special or unusual. So basically poetic. It sounds like a poem here to me. Okay. Any questions? Have you seen this before? Do you know what this is?
Yeah, when I took a literature class, professor explained, the conversion. Inversion means reinforce the meaning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but I don't have a sense of that. So,
you know, it's a very advanced level in English. It is very confusing. It's nice to know that it exists, because if you do hear it, you might think, well, what are they saying? That doesn't make sense. Here you can see that it does exist, and I think that's kind of the most important thing for today's lesson is, that you don't think, oh, well, they are speaking totally incorrectly and you can't say that. Well, you can, okay? So basically, this is what we're going to look at today. And I would say this is very advanced, okay? We're talking C1, if anyone knows what that means. All right. So if we look at this next slide, it's the subject auxiliary inversion. All right. So the new word order becomes the auxiliary plus subject and then the verb. Okay, so for example, on no account must you smoke indoors. Okay, so do you see how this is changing? We have must you smoke here. That's what this is. The auxiliary is must in this case, the subject, and then the verb. Okay, so if we wanted to say this basically normal, we could say you must not smoke indoors. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? And I'll look at this why in a second here. Any questions about this?
Is it still poetic or just reinforce the meaning?
It's just a different way to say it, basically.
Okay.
It doesn't change the meaning at all. No. This is basically it. And so it says why here. It says in this example we use inversion for emphasis. So there's more emphasis, but that's basically it. Emphasis and power after adverbial and time expressions such as on no account, never, no sooner, hardly, and barely. Okay. So I think because we're saying on no account must you smoke, with the must, it's kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When you hear the word must, it's very strong. And so you need to just be very aware of what's going on there then, okay? So that's basically why we're using inversion. All right?
So if I say this sentence in usual way, on no account, you must not smoke indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow, it's confusing.
It is.
I think if you say on no account, you must not smoke indoor. If you say you must, it should be on no account, right? Because if you say on no account, you must not smoke, it's just negative and negative in the same sentence.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just confused. I get confused.
Yeah, no, it's just adding more emphasis here, okay? That's basically it. And, this is, like I said, a very, very, very advanced level. So if you don't understand this, that's okay. All right? It's really not that bad. All right? It's really difficult. That's why I wanted to do it, to kind of do a little bit different grammar, things that maybe aren't exactly normal, something that's interesting, something you haven't seen before. So I definitely think I got that. And so that's it. It just so that you know that this exists, and maybe you might see it somewhere and think it's, oh, that's terrible, but it's not. It does exist, and it's more used in poetic. I think the first example, would be more poetic in that sense, and then this kind would be more for rules or regulations, maybe signs or something like that that you would see, in public. All right, so let's continue. All right, there's not too many slides on this, so all right, so this is a good example. Did you see that? Okay, in this example, inversion is used to form a question. This is an obligatory use. We use inversion in questions. Have you thought about that? We change the order of the auxiliary and the subject and the main verb. That's what we're doing. So we do use inversion, all right? It just because we have to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there you go. So yes, we do use it, but okay, so that's basically it, to make questions. So it's just a different way that we can use inversion, okay? Any questions? All right, so that's
Also,
maybe.
the colloquial level, sometimes you see that it's just a tone up in the end could be a correction form, but formally, English needs conversion to make a correction.
Yeah, I mean, we use it to make a question. We understand that, but and then, if we want to use it in kind of other sentences, I don't think I can write on here. I would like to. Oops. No, definitely can't write on here. Let me write it in the chat box here. For example, when I say I did enjoy the concert. Okay, so I put that in there. Okay, so it says I did enjoy the concert. Now this is an affirmative sentence, but we're using did. The auxiliary did means that it's in the past. Okay, and normally it's used with questions or negative sentences. So did you enjoy the concert? Or I didn't enjoy the concert. But I'm using it in the affirmative sentence. And so you see did. All it's doing is giving more emphasis. That's all this first did is doing. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I understand this one.
Okay, well, it's something similar.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Because you not often see people say I did enjoy. Normally I enjoy with the tense, with the past tense, right?
With the ed.
With the eds, and when you want to emphasize that you really enjoy, you just I did enjoy.
Exactly. Or as you said, I really enjoyed the concert. So you're using really to add more emphasis. It's just a different way to add emphasis. Okay?
Oh yeah.
All right, so it's similar to inversion in what we're looking at today, okay? Not the exact same, but it's something similar. Oops, sorry, that's my necklace. It's a long, long necklace that's hitting the table. So, okay, all right. So this next one is a little bit more complicated. It says, had I known this before, I wouldn't have come. Does anyone know what this is? What sentence this is?
Model. Unreal condition model. unreal condition something.
No? Unconditional? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is a a conditional. And this is, let's see here. This has to be it's a mix actually of the second and third conditional. Okay, so we're using the conditional without if. And we're saying, had I known, and if I say, if I had known this before, I wouldn't have come. Actually, this is the third, I'm sorry, this is the third conditional. I forgot about the last verb here. I wouldn't have come. So this is the third conditional. Okay, so let me just write it in the chat box here. If I had known this before, I wouldn't have come, is how we would say this probably normally, in a normal conditional way. Now, as much as I love to teach conditionals, I've never taught this high level. Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking out if, and we're using inversion here to change around the subject in the auxiliary here, okay, which is one of the first examples that we saw that we can do. And that's basically it. So, do you see what's happening?
Sorry, is there a nuance difference? If I say, if I had known or had I known this before?
Had I known?
Yeah, these two sentences, is it the same nuance or a nuance a bit different?
No, it's the same. It's the same meaning.
Okay, and it doesn't sound like poetic or not such kind of thing. Okay.
Well, if we look here, it says, in this example, we use inversions in conditional sentences without if. It is used to sound more formal or polite. So that could be a little bit more polite.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Any other questions about this? No? All right. Okay. So let's go down here. All right, and let's see if we can figure out the correct answer here, okay? Ken, why don't you go ahead and read this for me?
Okay. Blank had left them. I heard him talking about me. Left them. Had I left them, no sooner had I left them, only when had I left, I heard him talking about me. Only when?
Anyone? Does anyone have any idea?
First one.
The first one, no sooner. I think that sounds fantastic. No sooner had I left, than I heard him talking about me. Mm-hmm.
Why then? Not then. No sooner than. Okay, comparative.
Yeah, exactly. It's comparing two moments here.
Okay, yes.
Does that help?
Yes. I got the structure now.
Okay. Well, let's look at 2. Chenhu, can you read number 2? Chenhu, are you still there? Or can I leave out before in that sentence? Oh, you were talking about the lesson. Sorry, Chenhu. Chenhu, do you want to read this? If you're talking, I can't hear you. Let me go back to this last slide. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the Hangout. Had I known this, I wouldn't have come. Yeah, you can leave out before in this sentence, so that's fine. That was a good question. Sorry, Chenhu, I didn't see that. So it doesn't look like Chenhu is there. Elle, would you read number 2, please?
Okay. Blank at the party, I would have had fun too. The second one, were I?
Good. Were I at the party? Okay, and so this normally could be, if I were at the party, I would have had fun too. Very good. All right, Ken, do you want to read number 3?
Okay. What you are saying is completely wrong.
What you are saying. What you are saying. And it's actually funny here because normally with questions, this is a question word, but in this case, it's not used as a question. All right?
Yeah.
So, what you are saying is completely wrong. To be a question, we can say, what are you saying? Yes would be a question, but in this case, oops,
Right.
no, it's
Maybe this word means think. Maybe things you are saying.
not.
Think is you're saying, or maybe.
I just want to translate this to Spanish right now. I can't make an example without using what. That's the funny part.
If I translate this word into Japanese, I translate it as think. But maybe yeah.
Okay, well you can. I think you're saying. I can't even do that. What? I can't. I don't think I can translate this. I don't think I can say this in English differently. You're whatever. The words coming out of your mouth are completely incorrect. All right. So that's my other way of saying this. All right. Okay. So let's take a look at the 4th one. Elle, can you go ahead and read that?
Sure. Now was the time to escape from him, and so she jumped energetically onto the train.
So now was the time to escape from him, so she jumped energetically onto the train. Any questions here? Does that make sense now a little?
This is just we have to change the position like
Yes.
normally than we saying, right? We have to change the position. I don't know how to explain.
Yep, the structure of the sentence is what we're saying here.
Just change upside down.
Absolutely. Good. So questions with this? Do you kind of, I mean, you don't have to understand exactly what's going on, but, you know, if it sounds okay, if it doesn't sound good to you, don't worry. That's normal. All right. So let's try these. Okay. So Ken, can you read the first one?
Okay. Example, I have seldom walked more than 10 miles at a time. Seldom have oh my gosh. I seldom have I ever walked more than 10 miles there at a time. It's a correct sentence.
Okay. So how does this sound to you? Not good?
Actually, this kind of conversion question, ask a lot in a TOEFL
Okay.
exams. I know that, but I always forget about that.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, don't worry. Like I said, if it doesn't sound right, that's fine. If this is new to you, that's fine. All right, just so that we know that this exists in English. So I have seldom walked. Okay, so all we're doing is changing this structure. Okay, so seldom, have, we've added ever for more emphasis, and walked is there. So it's all here. We just, have to switch it around. All right. Well, I'm not going to be able to write this here. No, it doesn't let me write. Okay. So I have never climbed Ben Nevis. Never, how would we say this?
Never have I.
Never have I
Have I
climbed Ben
climbed
Nevis.
Ben?
Absolutely. And even if you wanted this word ever, we're taking off the N, okay? We can use that here. Never have I ever climbed. Now, never have I ever sounds a little bit, not like childish in a bad way, but never have I ever, I think, is the beginning to a game. And so that's why I'm thinking it sounds a little bit like children. But you can also say that you can, add emphasis by adding ever in this part of the sentence as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, so what about 2? I turned up and she started laughing. No sooner.
Turn I. Turn no sooner. Turn I. Oh, turn I. No sooner. Oh, they have two subject, two verb.
Yep, there's I and she. Any ideas, Ken? Elle, you're doing a great job trying to.
Same structure, no sooner than.
No, this is no sooner had I turned up, she started laughing. So let me show you no sooner. So we had no sooner here. Had I left. So we have to put this into past perfect. Okay, then, and then here's the other subject that Elle mentioned. So no sooner had I turned up than she started laughing. Okay. All right, well, let's see if we can get the rest of these, okay? So number 3 says, if I had more money, I would buy everything I desired. Any ideas for had I?
If I had I had go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ken.
Had I more money, I would buy everything I desired.
Very good. Had I more money, or had I had more money, I think I would add, yeah, I think I would add that. I would buy everything I desired. All right, well, what about 4? If something should happen, call me. Should
something happen?
Should something happen, call me.
Call me.
And 5 says, if sorry, you can't smoke in here at any time. What about the next sentence?
At no time in here can you smoke.
Okay,
Strange.
at no time can you smoke. At no time can you smoke. At no time here can you smoke. I wouldn't even put anything in there. At no time can you smoke here is what I think sounds best. So.
I think so too, yes.
And people say things differently all the time. Maybe you use inversion differently than I do. Maybe Thomas says things differently than I do, and that's okay. And that's why there's many different ways to say things in English. All right? So, all right, I think that's going to be it with this presentation today. So let me stop sharing my screen. Do you have any questions about anything? Like I said, I know. Okay, so Chenhu is
at
there.
no time means any time or all the time.
Right.
Okay.
It's negative. Okay. All right. Any final questions? There's classes like this that kind of end strangely. It's like, do they understand? Do they not understand? I know it's complicated. That it's supposed to be complicated. It's a very, very high level. But don't get discouraged. Natives use it. I don't think non-native people would really use this unless they lived in a country for a long time. Like Thomas lived in England for a long time. He might use it. I know my parents use it. I always compare everything to my parents, being that I live in a different country and I don't use advanced grammar anymore because, I have to speak a little bit better and so people understand me. So yeah. Questions?
It's good to learn something advanced.
It is. It's sometimes scary and sometimes not very successful. Maybe you don't understand, but I can do inversion part 2. We go over it again and see things a little bit differently. So yeah. All right. Well, Thomas should be putting up another class of mine, and it's technology in business. I have my piece of paper here with all my information. So that should be Saturday at the same time as always, all right? And actually next Tuesday we're doing it's a C1 level. It's a very, very advanced level as well about the word it. Even though it is put this back in the spot where I know it, where it is. Even though it is a very basic word, it's I enjoy it or I enjoy seeing it. It's when we're using that it and it's kind of like, well, why? So that's what we'll be looking at next Tuesday. All right, so those are the 2 next classes that we have. So hopefully you learned something, you got to understand a little bit more in English today, okay?
Okay.
And so,
thank you very much.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, well, everyone have a good day, and hopefully we'll see you on Saturday, if not on Tuesday, all right?
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Have a wonderful
bye.
day too. Bye.
Thanks. You too.